shots, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Ay, 16 cars in my front yard. Ay, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist, man, check the wrist, man. Got him hot, ayy. Man, can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the big skin, but he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards. You just on your 5th grand. Run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up, round it up, count it up. Ayy, 100s and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ayy, she want it like me, cause I like she can't count on him.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Good. 180. Watch the slant. 46 down, man. 5-4.
On first down, Wentz. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. 27 yards there, a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
From the 41, Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now they face a third down and 4 after that incompletion on second down.
Mike 15.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Keep it up, defense, keep it up, guys.
To throw, it's Wentz. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. Wentz to throw for it on fourth. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this crowd into it early. Their guys stand tall on the opening drive of the football game. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Check 13. Check 13.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Too little, Cupcake. Check safety, check safety.
22, jet, bomber. 22, jet, bomber.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
We got 3, fellas. We got 3. Mike 2. Watch 2. Watch 2.
I'm not ready.
From the gun, Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Eagles will have the football at the 20-yard line.
Here we go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. A handoff out of the pistol. It's Drake. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Squeeze, squeeze, double.
Hey, grip.
5-9.
From the gun, it's Wentz. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. We're scoreless after 1.
Ready? Check my 50. Mike is a 50. Check my 50. Wild Bill. Wild Bill.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Like 2.
On 3rd down, Jackson is going to fire one deep, middle of the field, into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some spin.
It's a foot race. Past the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Kenyon Drake with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, the game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Well, earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Drake. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Mike, let's find 2. Come here. 2, check. Mike, hey, over.
Throwing his wins. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Viking 16. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Into the red zone, Wentz. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deontay Burnett with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Cook running right. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. That's caught by the tight end, Aaron Smith Jr. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. The tackle was by the Boston College product, Harold Landry.
2 yards on the pickup.
On second down, Cook. Great move, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
On second down, it's Drake. And some space here. That one good for 26 and a first down.
A gain of 26 yards. And an Eagle first down.
Done. 120.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
We're done.
On first down, Drake. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That sack by Tremaine Edmonds.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Jackson. Dancing to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Here we go. 180.
54 Mike. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Whip.
Tyson. Two jets. Hey, Alpha. Done.
On play action, Wentz looking for the end zone. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
I can't believe they let you play.
Running, it's Drake. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6.
What you got? What you got, Heavy?
Hey, exit.
Give me some. Give me some. Here we go.
Mike, 54. 54. You better be afraid of me. 81. You better be afraid of me.
Wentz going to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. On 1st and goal, Drake. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And this one complete to Burnett. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll come out in the pistol. This defense hasn't let them in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. They'll try and pound it in with Drake. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Kenyon Drake with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. Cook with a 1st down and much more. And all the way up to the 46. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook, and he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
49, guys. Mike, 49. Watch the curl. 49 to Mike. 49 to Mike.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Now Sanders. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
82.
54, Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike.
Working from the gun. Wentz. Man open. It's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Watch 5-4. Check tight end. Check
this 5-7. Hey, Foxtrot. Hang in.
Play action. Now Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Motion. Check. Shift.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike. I got wide.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Shotgun now for Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Take it at the 37. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
Let's go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay.
It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one good for 37 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Check curls, check curls, check curls.
They run it again with Cook. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
What an advantage having a elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. Running for it, here's Cook. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They get 6 yards going for it on 4th, and now it's 1st and goal. Deep in the red zone, seemed like they had their mind made up that was 4-down territory, and now they've got it inside the 5.
I like the way you looked at that, because you're thinking just like a play caller and a head coach who gave the play caller that authority. It was 4-down territory. They went for it, picked it up. They didn't get the touchdown, but what a great consolation prize. A new set of downs and another shot at the end zone.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. They come out here in the eye. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up 3rd down. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive, because you know they want to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they have to be aggressive, but they also have to be smart about it as well, because one mistake can turn into 6 points.
They converted once earlier on this opening drive, but now comes a big test. 4th and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th and goal here as they search for a late score. They'll run for it. Cook. And he's not going to get there. They tackle him at the 2. Cook turned away on 4th and goal. And this shutout is going to continue as the defense holds again. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And he is out of bounds up past the 10. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Drake. Brought down around the 16 or 17. Had a nice move, but couldn't free much space. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Coming, baby. 74, 74. Hey, Charlie.
Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. And he's going to have the hook up to Burnett. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. Wentz now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. He'll have a first down past the 40. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Kenyon Drake, 71 yards. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Cook following the penalty. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up, double up. Delta. On the ball.
One last shot for Jackson. Open here, Adam Thielen. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Philadelphia, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead they fall to 5-7, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.